It's Slicky Campbell, and let's get into a lore video. In this particular video, we'll be talking about Pink Pantheress. I got as much information as I can find on the woman.
This is a potential mother.
In this series, we'll just be talking about different artists that I like, usually when they drop an album or something, just so they are in the omnipresent media cycle. And yeah, so it'll be kind of sloppy, but I'll give some of my perspective on it and what I think about the artist and why I came to like them and stuff like that. So it's a mix of like just information, a little bit of my perspective. So without further ado, let's get into Miss Victoria Beverly Walker, aka Pink Pantheress.
Get you something. You know, that's why I want to know your size.
Pink Pantheress is the 24-year-old artist from Canterbury, England. So Pink had a pretty normal life growing up. Her dad being a stats professor is kind of interesting because you can see through Pink Pantheress's interviews and stuff like that, she takes a very analytical and a very logical, careful, tedious approach to her music and her marketing and when she puts stuff out. So I can kind of see how if she either picked that up from her father or she is just more inclined to be like that. And then there wasn't too much about her mom. Her mom is Kenyan and her dad's British, so she's half Kenyan and half British. If I didn't already say before, she is from Canterbury. And one other interesting thing is her brother is her like music sound engineer, which I feel like helps her stylistically and help keeps this flow of music going, because so I have someone like your brother critiquing your music to have a very blunt, probably very unabashed, like I guess thought about your music, point of view like that. That's very interesting to have your brother kind of like working on your music too, to kind of give you a different perspective on how it's gonna work. Because you can have all these other people in your ear saying like, oh no, this is good, but your brother's gonna be like, no, this is what I think's good. So just something to think about, something to chew on. But before we see like the breakout of Pink Pantheress, there's really not that much to again chew on. She started like a rock band that I really couldn't find too much information about besides her starting the band with other people. And then she had another alias, VBW, and she released this Retrograde mixtape under, and it's on SoundCloud if you want to check it out. It's kind of similar to what she puts out now, obviously less like produced and less and like more raw because there's no budget, no label. And then around 2020 we get to the era of like everybody getting on TikTok because of the pandemic. And we see Pink Pantheress post TikTok after TikTok promoting her music and stuff like that. And then we get to her first EP, To Hell With. And To Hell With It has so many like very classic Pink Panther songs. You have Just For Me, you have Pain, you have Break It Off. And the cool thing about Pink Panther songs is that they kind of were on this forefront of people using the sound of the song to have trends, and because they were so short, it really aligned with TikTok's algorithm, how you can kind of use almost all the song to place over a TikTok. So they fit really well in TikTok's algorithm, so they spread millions of posts that include Pink Panther songs. And the vibe of these songs are very much indicative of the times that we were in 2021. The pandemic was still alive and well. A lot of people were still in their houses, not doing anything, rotting in bed, and that's what this feels like. It feels like a cunty way to rot in your bed. Like the glittering synths, the dreamy production on a lot of these songs. It feels like there is a level of despair, but it's like in a cutesy way, which was that's what in 2021, that's when everything, all that kind of started, like doing things in a cutesy way, and it's like I'm bed rotting, and that's when all these terms start to pop up. And Pink's music at the time really aligned with that. So I think there was even a more allure to that. There was all these high schoolers that had to sit inside. There was these college students that had to sit inside, and they're thinking about all these things they could do over the summer, or all these things they can do, you know, while they're stuck on their computer doing schoolwork or something like that. If some schools hadn't gone back to school yet, physical school. And this is where we see the press runs. This is like Pink Panther's era with the braids. Like she's getting all these magazine shoots, she's giving all these interviews. And after the EP came out, I kind of fell off of the Pink Pantheress wave. I was like, okay, this is cool, but I would like to see what's next. And we get into 2022 and 2023, and we really get the evolution of what TikTok music is. So around 2022, 2023, we get Boys a Liar Part 2, and this is just an amazing hit. Ice Spice also on her, just like beginning of her
It doesn't need to alter your
dominance
living
of, like, the
situation.
TikTok
I still live like a
sphere,
student.
like she was
hence
just
the house
releasing
party.
TikTok songs are something I want to use carefully here because I know Pink Pantheress has come out and said that she doesn't like her music becoming TikTok music, which I'll talk about in just a second. But just how Ice Spice dominated that 2022, 2023, just with like very catchy points of songs that people could use for audios. Pink Pantheress and her collabing together, the other kind of the evil or the nice side of Ice Spice. Like, it was just a perfect match in heaven. So after this song dropped, it's like barely a 2-minute song, if that. And people are kind of coming out against TikTok music. There's a lot of articles being written about like why TikTok or TikTok music.
I've interviewed on a red carpet before, but they never invited me back.
And mind you, the app has really only been super popular since 2020, so we only have like a 2-year sample size. But the music cycles, the trend cycles are going so fast, and why aren't these artists having any longevity? This is obviously going to piss these artists off. Pink Pantheress has come out and said that her music's not TikTok music, and I can kind of agree with that. I think when people use TikTok music, they're using it in a very negative way. They're using it as like, oh, this doesn't contribute to anything. This is just like slop music that people use as audios, and we're always trying to have this catchy chorus or this one verse that people latch onto. It counts as streams, so these labels can make a bunch of money. And I think Pink Pantheress, especially, her music is much more deep than that. There's stories in her music. Even though the songs are 2.5 minutes long, it's very concise and it gets to a certain point, and it's like, why draw a song out for 4 minutes just to appease like music elitists that need a song to be 4 minutes? And it just feels so much more authentic. A lot of Pink Pantheress fans talk about how, you know, her Y2K style is like the actual Y2K style. She has these like almost like nurse scrub clothes on sometimes. She always has like this bag around her with her. Everyone refers to her as like the Y2K auntie because of the older style that she dresses in. Her style is very interesting, to say the least. I love it, and I think it feels like it's very authentically her, which with a lot of TikTok artists you don't really get. There's artists like a Tommy Richmond and even Ice Spice a little bit that have like, it's so manufactured because they have these like major massive hit that you just have no connection to the artist. They seem like such a weird, like not even physical artist, you know. They don't seem real. They feel so industry plant that it's like, what is even going on here? It's so meta. And then in 2023 we get to when Pink releases Heaven's Knows, and there's a couple songs I really liked. I really love the True Romance song. That song I still play to this day. There's a couple other bangers on there. Did I connect to it as much as her EP? Not necessarily, but there was a lot of hate for it because it was a shorter song. People just didn't like that.
But they never invited me back.
The song has to be more
So I bought my own.
X minutes. Sometimes I'm not mad that a song is not longer than 2
Our
minutes
next guest
because
believes
it's
this is a
really
major
good.
red carpet
but
music
if it gets
awards,
to-
and her
if it
manager didn't
relates
ask
the
enough
message
questions.
of what the artist is
She
trying
could
to
be
do,
eating
why
fried chicken
not
with a white
a
woman.
minute?
Well, she's here with us
Why not a
instead.
2-minute, 20-second
It's Pink
song? You know,
Pantheress.
like you
Do
can
I
contrast
go on there?
Pink
Hold on.
Pantheress
Okay.
to
Oh,
artists
that's
like
ridiculous.
Who have 6-minute
Sorry?
songs.
No, it's good.
Her last album
Hold that.
was like
Okay.
a story about a woman and all this stuff.
What did you say
Going
before
through
I came
life
on?
and having all these
She could be eating
trials.
fried
But
chicken
Pink
with a white
Pantheress'
woman.
music is more
Oh,
like there's bops
right,
to
of
it.
course.
There's
No,
not
I am
necessarily a
here today.
story
Together.
along
I
with
do,
the
yes, I
album.
do.
And to me, that's
Right,
kind of
I'm gonna go
why
outside,
you
'cause
listen to Pink Pantheress.
that's
I don't
pretty
think
much
I would
it.
listen to
Okay.
Pink Pantheress
That's
to
fine
talk
with
about some
me.
elongated, elaborate story with all this crazy storytelling. Like sometimes there's music for certain times.
Before we start, can we just get some reaction
When
shots?
a music elitist
Okay. I
wanna keep this
talks
interview
about
short, like
Pink
your music
Pantheress
and my
why
sex
she's not
life.
like, she's like
So,
almost like
Taylor coming
not
in, I'm
an
just gonna
artist
react.
because of these less than 2
Really?
minute songs. I think it's just kind of
Wow.
stupid.
Yes.
It's like, why are we trying to put everybody in
Boring.
this? Like they
Okay.
have to have an hour
really
long
rude.
album.
Sorry?
And it
I said
has
that's
to have
quite
some
I'm just doing my
story,
reaction
like,
shots.
Well, I was
Mind-
telling
you
you
gotta
about
stay
my-
we
quiet
can
while
just
we
have
do
bops.
this.
We
Okay.
can just have
Sorry.
bops. It's okay. Me, when I think bops are just music, so I go to the bop house, and then I'm surprised. No, I could go on and on about how like why I think having an hour album or like more than you have to average like a 3.5 minute like song to be a real artist. It's just so BS, and it's just another way to like have people not do those songs. You just gotta not care about it. But yeah, I think it's really cool that Pink Pantheress kind of subverses that and does these like, you know, EPs and albums that are like 28 minutes, and it's shocking. It's like, oh no, here's another 28-minute thing. It's like that is like what she does best. Like if you Because the flip side, if you do an hour-long thing and it sucks and people are like, oh, now she's not a real artist because you can't do this. It's like, it's so stupid. And I can see why she would really not like this either, because you can see in the interviews that she takes her craft very seriously. Like the Zane Lowe interview is very eye-opening about how she has all these good points about if you have taste, you're never not gonna fail because you're confident in yourself. She just talks about how analytical she is and how like tedious she is about every single thing happening when it comes to her marketing and her career. She has a really good grasp on it. So when someone comes out and kind of discredits her because these songs are short, it's like you could see like she cares so much about that. So I could see why that would piss someone off. So, and there's a couple other things that kind of happen between 2023 and 2024. I think she opens up for Olivia Rodrigo at some point, but then has to like cancel because she's like really straining herself. She is like has partial or almost lost all her hearing in one of her ears because she has just pushed herself to make so many songs. And you see a lot of these artists that make hundreds of thousands of songs, like, you know, like a Juice WRLD who just has like thousands of unreleased songs, pushing themselves so much to where they're like, you know, God forbid anyone passes away or anything, RIP Juice WRLD, but like you see these artists push their songs. So it's good that she took like a mental health break, got her stuff back. But it was cool to see her open up for like a really big pop star like Olivia Rodrigo. And the really cool thing about Pink Pantheress up till now, she has really stayed true to her roots. She hasn't really fallen back and made any like super long songs or all the criticism she's gotten about her stylistic choices and stuff like this. She has really stood on business and not really changed, but there is like evolution in it. Like production's got a little bit crisper, the songs are a little bit more dynamic. I feel like Illegal, I can see why that got really popular because it's catchy. There's a little bit of like gravity to it. It's like instead of like all these lighter songs like Pain, Just For Me, True Romance, those are like lighter, fluffier songs, and this is like a lot of these songs on Stateside they have a little bit more gravity, a little more like a thick ass song. Yeah, and I learned a lot about her while researching her. Just like I said, she's a lot more analytical about things. She's doing a lot more thinking, a lot more curating than I think a lot of people give her credit for. She's developed a super cold fan base. I mean, when I get on Twitter, there's so many Pink Panther stan accounts. I'm like, oh my god, I did not know she had this big of a following. Like I said, the Stateside album cover was really cool. Like she's very much like progressing with the trends very flawlessly, very beautifully. She's putting a lot of this like 2008s, like closer to 2010s, like aesthetics into, like I said, the album cover, into her music videos. Tonight was really good by her, the lead single off of the mixtape Stateside. But yeah, she has a very cool brand. That's what I'll say. Like her brand is out of there, and it seems like she's ever evolving with it. So it seems like one of these artists that is deemed a TikTok artist that's here to stay. Like I don't see Pink Pantheress just falling off anytime soon. I can't say that about other artists, but like she used TikTok to her advantage, and now has like almost come off the platform. Like there's no like promoting that much music
yes, nice,
on TikTok anymore. She's not doing these sponsored posts. She's not doing that.
Nice,
like, you know, it's more like I'm using TikTok to show my brand.
How was that for you?
You are very
music, and it just flawlessly
welcoming
and
as
seamlessly comes together.
I'm gonna just wait for him to pass.
Artistry. It's all art.
You've been a great host, great interviewer.
I am very excited to see what Pink Pantheress does for like the next album.
Would you just read that?
Because the Stateside, the way I have confused Stateside and Fancy That, I knew that was the thing. I knew that was the thing. Please forgive me. You do not know how much I have watched Pink Pantheress interviews to fuck that up. It pisses me off. Okay, 2025 mixtape. The title is Fancy That. Final. Make fun of me all you want in the comments. Situation. The record was a mixtape, and it was really good. There was but for the mixtape on Fancy That, Stateside, Illegal, Noises, Tonight, all really good songs. And she's tapped into like the TikTok again, which I really like with the illegal trend that's going on. There's a bunch of videos doing that. But yeah, I think she's here to stay, and I don't think she has her own lane. I see her as, because I feel like as she was coming up, she was in this like, I saw her being shot for like Heaven Mark Jacobs. I saw her in a bunch of fashion editorials that were very Y2K coded, very streetwear coded. I don't see her as like a main pop girl. Like, I don't see her as like the Taylor Swift or stuff like that. I think she does something totally different and kind of leads that. I feel like in like 5 to 10 years when she's still making music, we'll see her as like one of the leaders of this like kind of alt pop. Like, I would put her and Addison Rae in similar categories in like their fan bases, their aesthetics, and her kind of like being the A team in that group. I don't even see her music as being like American pop-ish, like, at all, really. There's not that much like singing in it. There's no, like, I don't see her having like a vocal, like a ballad or anything like that, which right now in American pop, that's what it's more focused on. I don't even know at this point. We're having Tate McRae discussions as a pop girl. We're having Addison Rae discussion. I'm just, it's all over the place. They're all in a whole different category to me. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Pink Pantheress does. She's a really interesting artist to me. I think that I could see her collaborating with like artists that I like more so. Like, I could see like an Echo 2K collaboration with her. I could see, you know, more. I mean, she did a collaboration with Central C. I could see collaborations with more hip hop artists, with more alternative artists. Her art is so malleable in that way that I think it fits in a lot of different molds. Like, she's touring with Olivia Rodrigo. So yeah, I think her art can go into a bunch of different spaces, and I think she's gonna be one of the few TikTok artists that has like severe longevity. I mean, like 10 years plus. So yeah, I wish her the best, and if you like this video, give it a like. I'll do more lore videos that definitely will get better, and I'll actually remember the album names that I'm talking about. But besides that, if you like this, subscribe, and I'll get these out kind of just whenever, maybe once a week, just when there's like a lull in other content. I'll get a bunch out, and I'll see you soon.